and welcome to this video module on the investment banking interview process. How does the process work? Most banks follow a two-round process, with round one being a single 30-minute interview, usually on campus. If you don't happen to attend a school where the bank is recruiting, it could be at an offsite or at the bank's office. If all goes well in round one, candidates are invited to round two, sometimes called Super Saturday, a series of 4 to 8 or even more half-hour interviews at the bank, often at the bank headquarters. Stay calm. One bad interview doesn't mean you won't get the job during Super Saturday. A few items to note. You'll want to find out the expected attire for the interview. Often for banks, it would be the attire that you would wear to the job. You'll also want to arrive early for the interview, so there's no chance of missing your interview time. It's a great idea to bring copies of your resume. You can't assume that your interviewer has it in hand. You'll also want to know or quickly find out and retain the name of your interviewer, so you can use the name conversationally or upon closing out from the interview. Don't be surprised if there are two professionals interviewing you. Sometimes banks will send a pair of junior level bankers back to a school that they attended, and these two-on-one interviews shouldn't be a surprise. Arrive with some questions of your own, just a few, not too many. Maybe something about your interviewer, about the group he or she's in, or about the bank in particular. And lastly, most importantly on this slide, do your research. You must stay up to date on current events, especially in finance. That means reading publications such as the Wall Street Journal, news on Bloomberg, and you're also going to really need to do research on the firm that you're interviewing with. That means both information published by the firm, their website is a great place to look, but also news that's appearing in the media, maybe even some notable recent deals about the bank. What are interviewers looking for? There's three main topics. We've gone through these in previous modules, but it's: are you smart, can you do the work, and do we like you? Are you smart? Really, early in an interview, comes across as, can you speak clearly? Have you done your research? You might get a technical question just to make sure you know your math. Can you do the work? That gets answered by your previous demonstrations of teamwork, working long hours, your confidence. And do we like you? Again, this one's just going to address the whole issue that bankers are going to work long hours on teams. You're going to spend a lot of time together, even travel time on an airplane, cross-country. So you need to make sure that you're likable or you're a good fit with the bank and the group that you're applying with. You have to demonstrate that you want to be in banking and that you know what the job entails. You can't just say you want to be a banker. You have to prove that you know what that means. Finally, on this slide, be prepared to walk through your resume. Assume your interviewer really hasn't spent much time on it, maybe 30 seconds, getting your name, your school, one or two of your experiences or jobs. But you should have a story that ties all of your experiences together: how you developed an interest in finance, what you did to further that interest, how you wound up in this interview, what you're planning for the future. And lastly, how does round two differ from round one? Round one can really be seen as an initial screening. The bank chose you for an interview. They liked how you looked on paper. Now they want to know if you're articulate. The interviewer can probably get a good sense of your interest in banking and being at this particular bank. That really comes across from doing your research, being confident, and showing that you know what the job entails. Goldman Sachs says round one is focused on experience, accomplishments, and your potential fit with the firm, whereas Credit Suisse says round one is a, quote, competency-based interview focused on interpersonal skills and leadership abilities. Let's contrast this to round two, where Goldman Sachs says is a more technical interview. You may get math, finance questions thrown at you, or even a case study, but it still includes a fit focus. Credit Suisse says round two, the focus is on problem solving, as well as on communication and presentation. They also try to provide candidates with a good idea of what the program will entail and the type of work that can be expected on a daily basis. We have another video module in this series focused on actual interview topics and questions.